Hey everyone, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Charlie, and this is the Mood Booster Podcast.
In this podcast, we sit down, we have conversations about any and everything we go through in our lives. We're just trying to reflect on our daily experiences and find joy in the everyday.
Exactly that. We're not here to preach, just here to connect, reflect, and hopefully give you guys a little bit of a lift wherever you are.
Yeah, you can expect stories that spark something, science that makes sense, and just a conversation between two friends that feels like you're catching up with an old companion on a long walk in the country.
Exactly that. This episode is on holidays, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We talk about our favourite holidays, reminisce over those. We talk about how holidays can be stressful if you've got a busy work life and all those things, but also how much joy holidays can bring.
Exactly that. It's a fantastic episode. Some great tales in here as well from some good trips. Yeah, I think we should boost some moods and let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. We're all going on a summer holiday. Tune.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
9. Hola.
We are so back.
Welcome. We are so back.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
For all those who are tuning in today, we love you.
Te amo, my friends.
We love you a lot.
Mi amor. No, mi amor? No, mi amo. Who knows?
Te amo.
Mi amigo.
It's te amo, I think.
I said I was like Tellboy from Any Fools and Horses. Just
Te amo?
chuck it in random Spanish and French words.
Te amo, mi corazón.
How are you all? Welcome to episode 9 of the Mood Booster podcast.
Welcome. We're in a different setup, aren't we, today?
We are in a different setup.
We have, one would say, moved house.
We have moved house.
Episode
Before we
8,
go into
get on.
that, we are talking about holidays today, aren't we?
We are indeed holidays. I'm actually going on holiday on Friday. Now, you might think, who are these two chaps hopping on camera talking about all their fun holidays? We are very, very, very aware that this is coming from a place of quite a lot of privilege. We're not here to sort of list all of our holidays, as that would be a bit silly as well.
Oh, yeah.
We're here just to talk a little bit about what they can do, some of our great experiences with our own holidays as well, and just have a bit of fun with it, really.
Just have a bit of fun with
Just have
it.
a bit of fun with this episode,
Yeah.
you know.
Mason, one of
my
friends,
uni friends, didn't
put in our Instagram to talk about holidays, and
Yep.
given that we talk about what we're going through in the moment, Charlie's going on holiday this weekend, I'm going on holiday next week, we thought, why not talk about holidays? So that's what we're doing.
Exactly, some real good experiences, some really fun stories traveling.
But as you said, new location.
New location, new chairs. Let us know what you guys think.
Yes, new chairs. We've actually got quite a few things to talk about.
We do, don't we?
But firstly, how are you? How's your week?
I'm good, thank you. That sort of leads on to, I'm not just going to talk about how my week was. How am I doing? I should think.
Think.
I'm all right, thank you very much. It's been quite a tumultuous week. I had a bit of reflection when I was cycling to work yesterday. Had a moment just to reflect on the whole week. It's been quite a lot of ups and downs, I think. With moving location, it's quite stressful, is what I find, more than what I allow myself to give credence to. It's when things don't go my way or it's not smooth sailing. I think I catastrophize that quite a lot. When in reality, it's just I'm a little bit displaced, I think, as well. So over this past week, been some ups, been some downs. Overall, it's been a great week. In terms of what we've done, we've been moving this whole week, haven't we?
So any specific ups or downs?
Let me think. I think it's more just that when a down happens, when I'm feeling a little bit low one day, it can come across as anything. I catastrophize it more for some reason, I think, because I don't have maybe that safe space to go back to. Life just in itself feels a lot more up in the air as well. So just conversations, arguments, whatever it might be, times when I'm feeling a little bit worse, when I'd usually have a set routine to go back to, things I'd know I'd wake up, gym, I have my room, I have my flat, my whatever it is, I have a routine, a place that I go, because it's been quite a tumultuous week of not having anything to sort of go back to, or like my room's full of bin bags again. I sort of feel those things harder and maybe think that they're long lasting. They won't be, and they aren't, as I've very much found out again through this week. But in the moment, I think it's quite easy for me to let those thoughts run away a little bit more, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And then any highs?
Any highs? There's been lots of highs.
Yeah.
Lots of highs as per usual. There's been some great highs in terms of seeing friends again. Some guys from school who I've not seen together as a collective in years. Saw them for a lovely barbecue on Friday. Got a new bike.
Yeah.
Got a lovely new bike.
Lovely.
Gorgeous.
She's a beauty. Well,
Is it a she? Should we say? Because people always say boats, cars. They're like,
yeah.
she's a beauty. What should we name her?
Maybe. What make is it?
Cannondale.
For me, then it's got to start with a C.
Are you one of those people who starts it? Yeah.
But that's not a rule, but that's just for me.
Did you name your car in Lake Garda on that trip?
No, I didn't actually.
I think we did. We called us Felipe the Fiat Punto.
Oh, nice.
Carry on.
I had a Ford called Frida Kahlo. And I've now got a Volkswagen, and it's called Veronica.
I don't get it.
Veronica, but it's Veronica.
I'm playing.
And my
It's cool,
first car was a Corsa, and this is a bit of a stretch, but it was. I wanted to call it Phoebe just because I like the name Phoebe, but my brother called his car Phoebe, so I did Princess Consuela Banana Hammock. If you get the reference, you get the reference.
Family Guy?
Friends.
Of course, it's Phoebe's name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Phoebe's name. She tried changing it to.
Yeah.
Of course, Family Guy.
But Consuela the Corsa. So yeah, each time. No, I clean. So yes, we need to name your bike.
Should we try and do it here?
Yeah, well,
Cannondale.
Cara. That begins with a C.
Begins with a K.
Cara begins with a C.
On Monday, for a bit of reference there, on Monday we've been trying to find a new place for the run club to be, because the current pub that we're at have basically not served like an eviction notice, but they're doing some work on the spare room in which we drop our bags out of. And so we were looking on Monday, weren't we?
Yeah.
To find a new place.
And someone was like, "Oh, email reservations. You're emailing Cara." So then we went to email the reservations, and Cara, and Charlie was like, "Why are you spelling it Cara with a C?" And I was like, "Well, how else am I supposed to say it? Is there a silent P or something?"
Z in the beginning.
But Charlie thinks there's a K. Anyway, regardless.
I know. I think 2 cars, and they both have a K.
Well, I know 3 Caras. And they all have a C, so here we are, trumps.
Let's just use both. Cara, K and C.
Cara, K and C.
Annoyingly,
the other colleagues, because we said Cara and Alison or whatever, the other colleague replied, so we'll never know. Alison replied. So
we'll never know.
Guys, let us know. Huge content from us.
Exactly.
Cara, do you spell it with a K or a C? Jeez Louise.
Type in the comments.
Anything else from your week?
Yes, indeed. Well, Saturday was the big move, wasn't it? Sunday we had a lovely day, didn't we? In the sun.
We did.
I was going to speak on this. We went to...
What did we get up to?
London Fields. We did a whole market thing, didn't we? We went to get this new table over there, which you guys can't see, but a lovely...
We'll put it in the carousel.
Old table that you found as well. Do we have a picture of moving it in?
No. That was the story.
I feel like these days... I'm just going to openly reflect here. I've allowed myself to become a lot more agitated.
Okay.
I used to let these things just breeze over me.
Yeah.
Time will be anyway. I was quite stoic about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge myself here. Sunday morning, I was tired. I was wanting to get somewhere. I just let myself get really agitated. I think I was like snapping at you as well because we couldn't get the table into the car boot. I don't know why.
We went to pick up this antique table from Gumtree, and Charlie's referencing when we went to go get it, the table didn't really fit in the car. I did the measurements beforehand, but I didn't measure the legs, and the legs were too high for the car height. And so we then had to tie rope around it, and it was just string, not rope. Let's not, over egg it. And it was the most flimsy. I don't know what I'm saying. It's the most flimsy string. And I was just like also desperate for the toilet and getting agitated myself, but I am quick to get agitated. I'm very quick to get agitated, very quick to come back down. And then I could just sense you were just there, and I was like, just go along with it, just don't say anything, just and you're like, so can you take the string and the scissors back then, or and I was like, yeah, okay, no worries.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And then basically we went to leave and the string snapped, and I was just like, oh my god. And I was again desperate for the toilet myself, and I was just in my mind like, this is really uncomfortable because I'm so in pain, and I also want to get on with the day, and I'm hungry and all those things, but then you were that way, and I was just like, okay, maybe it's my influence, or maybe you're getting more agitated. But to be fair to me, you were also hungry and wanted to crack on with the day, and it was an unexpected plan that was in the way of something you'd been looking forward to all weekend.
I think that
all
was
week. Sorry, so
I think that was probably it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself some patience there.
Yeah, and also you were fine about it.
That's good.
We went to London Fields afterwards and still had a lovely day. So
we did, didn't we? I was gonna say this as well. I want your thoughts on this. Lovely day in London Fields. Beautiful sun. Really, really hot. For some reason, and I don't think this is anything out of vanity, I was craving, whilst it was hot and sunny there, not wearing a t-shirt and having my shoes off, but I wasn't able to.
No.
And I don't want that to be like, oh, so I can show on my rig, because it wasn't that at all.
Yeah.
I don't really care about that. Just more I think, grounding. I was missing the grounding.
Okay.
I think that was part of the day, which was leading to me a bit more on edge for the day, I think. I was a tiny bit on edge.
Because you couldn't take your top off? Because you couldn't take your top off?
No.
Sorry, what?
No, okay, I'm gonna try and articulate myself better here so this can come across as less idiotic. I think I was a tad bit on edge for the day. It was really hot.
Yes.
And for me, when it's really hot, I'd like to be either in a park or on the beach.
On the beach.
Or in the sea, possibly.
Yep.
Without my top on, preferably, just so I can be frolicking in nature. I felt very cramped.
What is it about having your top on and off that's so significant? I don't get it. Like, for me, just not...
I wouldn't do anything for you.
Well, like,
it's got nothing
it would be
to do
nice,
with
but it would literally occupy like 0.1 second of my brain space and be like, oh, I can't, even though I did think about it, which I didn't, like, oh, I can't take my top off because I'm in the middle of public and busy markets, so...
I didn't, in that moment, I didn't want to take my top off because that would have been, like, weird. And there were kids there as well.
But it's something you look
I think
to.
it was, it was more just like it was really hot and I like the feeling of being free.
Okay.
Exercising my freedoms.
Okay. Interesting. You asked what did you want to hear my thoughts on?
I don't quite know. I just wanted to throw it out into the ether there and really see what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to know what it is about taking your top off. I kind of understand the shoe thing a bit more because like you say, there's the whole grounding idea and there's literature and understanding into like being your feet connecting to the earth and those sorts of things.
Of course.
Which I don't really think about too much myself, but I understand other people find that important, and it's nice to do that. The whole thing of taking your top off, it is something you look for quite a lot, and you do in a lot of opportunities, more so than anyone I've met before, and I do just wonder like what it is.
I'm actually curious because I remember.
Because obviously from the outside, and people say to you, and
Yeah.
I probably even joked to you before, like, it's a vanity thing, or you're just trying to show
genuinely
off.
not.
And people say that to you. I know people have, but like,
do you think it's a vanity thing?
no, having known you, I see other ways in which there is vanity there.
It's all a joke.
Okay. But I think the whole taking your top off thing, I don't think it is, because
No.
in any any given situation, whether we're in public or not, you're always like, I want to take my top off.
Back in university, there was this girl, her boyfriend, who I'd never met before. Before I had met him, I was told through the grapevine that when someone was mentioning my name, he asked, "Oh, is that the guy who always has his top off?" I was baffled that I had that rep at uni.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Plymouth was
I'm not
quite
baffled.
a small network of people anyway.
I'm not baffled. We went on a run many months ago. It was torrential rain, freezing cold, and Charlie immediately decides to run with his top off and take his top off as if that was
better.
and almost
It felt better.
these our friends like Claire and Nora and that lot were like, and Ross were like, why is this, what on earth? And then like from the
People
outside,
hate
that's
to
just
see it.
like someone's just trying to like get their rig out.
People hate to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I just love the feeling of just being free and unconstricted. When it's hot, it's cool that you can just sit there with your top off, you know.
Nice. Well,
In that way, it sounds vain, but who knows?
I don't have body posy, so
You should.
I'm a little ex-tubster and I'm still working on the bod. So
You've had more.
it's not something
ever recently saying.
maybe
that
if I had more confidence in my torso, I would also feel the same. But I don't know. Who knows?
Do you remember when we went for that topless run in Spain?
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel?
Good afterwards, but like it requires so much conscious effort to like try and think about it and be like, oh no, it's fine. Like you look a certain way, but just ignore it. So it's more effort than what it's worth right now, and I'm just like, I don't like how my torso looks, so just don't bother.
You're getting more jacked comments than ever, as of right
Yeah,
now.
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My shot, like from my I don't know why I'm going into this, but from my chest up, like I appreciate I've got like good shoulders and arms and stuff. I just don't like. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not. I'm not here. I
Don't
don't.
say that
I
about
don't
yourself.
want to advocate being
Yes.
self-deprecating.
Don't.
It's just
You
a
should love
thing
your
for
body.
myself, and I'm being honest and open here.
Good, thank you.
So yeah, I can't relate because I don't really want to have my torso out in public personally. So for me, that would be like an adversarial experience because it's like I don't have either neutrality or positivity towards my appearance
Yeah.
of my body, whereas you, without saying you're vain, you very much do. So
Isn't that I'm in love with the way I look?
I know you also
just
have ways that
quite
you, things
neutral
that you
about
don't
it.
like. Yeah, exactly. You have neutrality, which is not something I currently. My legs, great. My shoulders, great.
There we go.
I can advocate for those bad boys all day long.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're asking, my
How was your week?
was
How the hell did we get into that?
ups and downs. Not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, a bit like yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already told you my ups and downs. Just different bits and bobs. I don't know. Everything's just a bit more like when you're tired and you've moved and all those things. It's just a bit more volatile and a bit more like I don't say fragile, but like you just feel a bit more sensitive to things.
You do.
So, you know, discussions in the house about like what rooms are going to be what and those sorts of things. It all just feels a bit like tetchy on edge, or I don't know. You and I have had we had a bit of a being open. We had a discussion last night. Very
A
much.
domestic, guys.
Yeah, we had
Trouble
a
in paradise.
discussion,
I'll tell you that for free.
and
I'm not getting involved.
we very much, as we always do, the whole thing of our friendship is communication and working through these things. Immediately this morning, like completely, like that was not ridiculous, but that's how I felt. Da 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 da, and just back to normal. And every single time, only stronger from these things, because we are so painfully communicative, but like in the best way possible. But those sorts of things, like I don't know, it's just those sorts of.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened because it was important to have the conversation. And it would have maybe happened regardless of whether like this week being tired and all those things. But I'd maybe just feel it a little bit more, or feel like the adversities of that, and like I say, the house discussions, all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, and even in work, like in meetings, when they go over and like you're in a meeting that was supposed to be like half an hour and it's like an hour and a half, and you're just there like, what is going on? Yes, but no, that's some of the lows. I think just so many like highs. This house that we've moved to is beautiful. It's such an incredible house. I was working here all day yesterday, just walking around like. If I like went down to make my lunch or you know whatever it was making a coffee, just every time I was like wandering around, I was like, God, we're so lucky. This house is incredible. It's a beautiful house.
A lot nicer than the old one.
So spacious, so much light, just high ceilings. It just feels like I don't know. I've never put words to it, but you know when like an environment like you feel less trapped, or like I'm not in my old house. I lived there for 7 years and loved that house, but this house just feels a bit more like I can
breathe properly.
It's really lovely.
In London, it's rare to have that.
And it's just a lovely space. And obviously, it's only been a week, so we don't know all the ins and outs of it. But it's going really well. And even though you know there's boxes everywhere still and things that need to go to the tip or whatever, it's just really lovely. So
think about it. I've gone from one end of the extreme to the complete other, haven't I?
From your flat to here.
From my flat to here.
Yeah.
Within what's that? About 2 months. Shoreditch, absolute box for flats. I had a lounge, a tiny kitchen, and a really, really small bedroom. That was it. Straight to this residential, massive Victorian house. It's complete other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I mean, when I did tell my friend Tom, he was like, you know, there is an in-between in terms of like, you know, a really small flat and like a really big house. Like you can just find a good space. I was like, yeah, I'm aware, thanks. But I have just done one end to the complete other. So I think that adjustment as well for me has been something which has been something to navigate. I think trying to at least navigate it with, again, a place that I've not been sure on for a while, going from one end to the complete other. It's like a complete pendulum.
Yeah.
Or at least, sorry, going from one end of the spectrum to the other, like navigating how I feel about that in general even.
Has that been different? Like something that's been
I'd say so. It's been playing a bit on my mind a little bit in terms of just one of the reasons I moved into London was for the opportunities that come with the city. And for me, I always saw where I wanted to be in London, at least, because I never envisioned London to be my be all and end all. The place I was staying needed to very heavily contribute to whatever I was doing. Now, when I first moved in, sales job very much is still to this day. That's why the flat in Shoreditch made sense. You know, the actual flat itself wasn't lovely by any sort of means, but it was so close to work, right next to a train station. It was right in the hub of London, wasn't it? But with that comes the noise, just everything, the sirens, the crime, everything with it. Now, the other end of the spectrum is coming to a house like this. It's, I think, where for me, not the dissonance, but the difference with where I felt like I wanted was the fact that it was so different to what I initially moved into London for.
Yeah.
But so has my life changed since then as well. What I'm doing, who I'm with, is changed since I moved into London. So it makes complete sense for me to be here still. But I think just that dissonance from what I initially wanted was initially quite a shock as well to me.
Yeah.
I'm blessed and I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity. It's a lovely move. Not one part of me thinks it's a bad move at all, but just that change, that massive change, is still something to allow myself grace for. Because as I said, and as you just said, it makes everything feel more volatile, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And do you think like the size of the house is something that playing a part in that, or was that like you said about like from one extreme to the other?
I think so. Yeah, because I don't know. I never envisioned at 25 I'd be back in a big house. It's not a bad thing at all, but back in a big house, a little bit further out of the city. Because I always envisioned, at least for these next few years, I'd be in the centre of it, living in a smaller flat. So when I've been greeted with this difference, I know you guys are slightly older than me, or slightly different older point. So it makes a lot of sense. So I think, yeah, just navigating where, again, my friends are, the sort of environments they're in, versus the environment I'm in, whether it's where I thought I'd be at this age, or thought I'd be slightly older moving into it.
Yeah, it's
But I
funny.
quite
It's
like I've
age.
skipped that.
I've lived in these environments all of my 20s.
Yeah.
It's funny like what you put on what one should be in for a certain age, or that, like you're saying, versus your friends, which we know like the comparison is never sort of which you're not necessarily fully doing, but like yeah, it's again, it's like the difference between what one's putting on themselves via like an external expectation, or oh, I should be doing this, or this is where someone who's 25 should be living, versus actually, well, where do I want to be, and well, that's all that matters, right?
Of course.
Because like I say, I've never wanted to live in somewhere like, a high-rise flat in the city centre, regardless of whether I was 21 or 28. So yeah, I think as long as which you're following like
Very happy with the move.
you're enjoying and what you're seeing to be fruitful and all those things, then that's all you can be doing, and letting go of which you do, letting go of the sort of expectations that you might have previously put on yourself, because that's just an expectation, and it's like this is what should be. Well, what should be is what's here and now, and what I'm doing.
I completely agree. I think you've nailed it there. It's just letting go of those things, realizing I made the move for a reason. It's the only choice I've made and can make. And it's exactly what you said last week. It's the only option. I'm very, very grateful for it. What opportunities can come from it?
Yeah,
that's it. Line in the sand.
Line in the sand.
Pick up the sand and throw it away.
For sure. So before we go on to holidays, just want to quickly say,
yes.
Firstly, we didn't mention last week, we have our jingle, which is really exciting.
Oh, yeah, you are good.
So that's huge.
You would have heard it at the beginning.
Yeah, it's been at the beginning for the last three, and this third episode with it. Huge for us. I mean, never forgetting that these moments and not getting used to or being complacent to these steps. Like each of these things is really exciting and really cool. I don't ever I find myself, as we're getting busy with everything and juggling the move and stuff, just taking it like a couple of things not for granted, but just being like, oh yeah, that's really cool, and then like not necessarily like we always try and do, allowing myself to sort of really appreciate it. So yeah, to take a moment to be like, that's so cool. Like a few months ago, this was just still a dream, and now I've got a blooming jingle, and that's so cool.
I remember one day, how it actually came to be. Should we quickly speak on that as well? we were just, I don't know why, I was on a train and it was on a massive list of things to do, which is still ever growing. And I think I was just like, you know what, let's just get it done. Hopped on Fiverr, found a guy called George, just cracked on straight with him, hit some great reviews. And I think I just messaged him and said, we need this. For me, what the struggle was trying to put, how the hell do you put instructions for music?
Well, I think that's the thing.
It was so tough to do.
Artistic people who are more artistically inclined, they kind of that's their expertise, is to take words that are more sort of literal and
Granular.
yeah, and take that and be creative and artistic and fluid with that, I guess. So we did have several changes or requests for amends, but it's important that we got it right, and we absolutely love what we have now, and it feels perfect. So it was
a tough journey, wasn't it? But it was...
No, it was okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's just, for us, it was like, God, we need to ask for him to do it again. How do we word it this time?
Yeah.
But no, so that was really cool. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see we've moved away from just jumpers. We now have our t-shirts as well.
Mine's in the wash, but that is a lovely t-shirt, isn't it?
Yes, it's a lovely t-shirt. So we have the pod t-shirts because we are in summer. Well, we're definitely in spring, but we're getting towards summer, and it's already like 20 something degrees. So couldn't keep going on with the jumpers. Just the jumpers.
I'm a little bit warm here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes,
a little bit warm.
It's muy caliente. So,
speaking of warm places, holidays.
What a
segue.
It could be
holidays.
Little segue jingle there.
Oh yeah?
Talk to me.
Yes.
Holidays. What's your favourite holiday category?
Favourite holiday
category? You know, people are like, beach holiday, mountain, city. What's your dream?
Should we do some quick fire? Like, bomb, bomb, bomb?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do it for you quickly. I need you to ask me a question.
Okay.
Okay. Sea or snow?
Sea.
Pool or sea?
Pool.
Really? Oh yeah. Okay. Beer or cocktail?
Beer.
Okay. Early morning or late evening?
Early morning.
On a holiday?
You know, have you met me?
Jeez Louise, Ron. All inclusive or villa?
Villa.
Okay. Hostel or hotel?
Oh, hotel. It depends. Is it a shared mixed hostel? Or
Yeah.
Hotel, obviously.
Okay. You said sea. So, coast, city or coastal city?
What?
Inland city or coastal city?
Coastal city. If they're both cities, I'll have the beach.
Like Madrid or Barcelona, for instance.
Barcelona.
A lot of people say Madrid these days.
Okay, well, I've never been. I've been to Barcelona.
Okay. Europe or America?
North America.
Yeah.
Europe. Oh, damn, wiping out Canada there. But Europe.
Okay. Italy or Greece?
Italy.
Italy or France?
Italy.
Spain or Italy?
Italy.
Wow. Okay. North Italy or South Italy?
I don't know.
Fair
I couldn't
enough.
tell you the
That's
difference.
it. That is the quickfire questions done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite kind of holiday category? That was quite good, though.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Quickfire.
For you?
No, sorry. What was your question?
What's your favourite holiday category? Your sort of go-to holiday? Your dream holiday?
My dream holiday.
In a category.
What are
Beach,
the categories?
City, exploring, hiking, all-inclusive lay by the beach, skiing. What's your dream? Like, what's your favourite kind of holiday?
Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of
city.
I'd say more coastal, adventure, sea, sun. Not necessarily a pure surfing holiday. I am craving that right now. Hence for next week. But for me, like an adventure, whether it's like camping, hiking.
Oh yes.
Like with that sort of roughing it, I absolutely love that sort of holiday. I think a nice hotel has a place and time, but for me, roughing holiday, cheap, easy, but like somewhere cool
like
and
you.
just like isolated. Huh? Cheap and easy.
Just like you.
Just like me. £5 per hour, guys. It's fine. Yeah, no, somewhere roughing it, not expensive necessarily.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. cool location,
Yep.
maybe even on the mountains or by the sea, just somewhere like that.
Yes.
I absolutely love.
I am the same.
Yes.
Adventure, hiking, all of
Yeah.
those things, exploring, roughing, getting exhausted by just exercising all day.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, sitting on a beach or by the pool
Has its place.
in the sun, doing absolutely sweet foxtrot alpha, that's the right, yeah,
Yeah.
is nice, and there's a place for it, and I
Yeah.
think it's nice to relax, and that's something I want to talk about in a bit. Is like what a holiday, what purpose a holiday serves, and then
Yeah.
coming back from a holiday, how that feels, and all those things. But it's ignoring all of that for now. My favorite kind of holiday is exactly what you just said. Like the idea of, finding the forest and the woods and the mountains and like going hiking through them and exploring and then like camping in a tent. I never camp, and I haven't really in my life loads. But like we did it a couple months ago now, or a month ago, and I was just like, this is, I will, like, I know I love this. I already knew I loved this, and I'm so glad we're doing this because it's so cool. And even though we were in some random field of a farm with loads of other tents, like it's not my favorite kind of camping. I would like to, like wild camp, for example.
Of course.
But you then have like the toilets and all those easy things, which does make it easier. So yeah, my holiday trail, like we're going to the Dolomites in a couple months.
Yeah.
And I've said like that is my dream holiday. Running around the Dolomites or like hiking around the Dolomites is beautiful as a location. Absolutely, that's another thing. Like a beauty in a place, which is why I like the expedition sort of stuff or the hiking and all those things, because you often it goes hand in hand with like incredible views. Some like literal dream holiday going to the Dolomites.
Yeah. It's gonna be unreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
The lakes, the views. You can go off road there, I think, as well, properly like into mountains.
Yeah, blooming can't wait. So not camping, but still all of the other things.
Yeah.
Which is going to be incredible. So
that should be great.
We share the same sort of holiday.
I think we do. Yeah. Do you look for that in friends, which you have? It's like similar traits of people.
No, I don't think so. Like I have friends who I go on holiday with who are very much, they would like to just sit and do nothing all day.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like sometimes it's like balancing that. And there's always compromise with those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But there's always like ways to work around it. I think it's easier when you go on holiday with someone who shares the exact same, like, so like for you, for example, we would be very much like, we don't need to compromise on those things. Like we're both happy to like walk all day or whatever. But it's not to say that then there's friends who don't like that I couldn't have a good time on holiday with. It's just like, okay, well, you're chilling by the beach all day. I'll join in that, but then for like an hour, I'll go do something else and I'll come back or whatever.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't say, yeah, like I say, it's easier, for example, but I wouldn't let that stop me, which, yeah, I very much go on holidays with friends who don't like those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
What about you?
I don't think so. I do like those holidays where you have the aligned vision because it seems to flow and you're not there in any sort of realm feeling cooped up or like I want to get out, I want to be doing this, and when you do have that feeling, you can be a bit on edge. The whole thing's lovely either way. You're in a lovely place, and as well. I think something I always do when I go on holiday is always have a question: is could I live here? Is this a place I can see myself? Very often is no, because it's too quiet or this or that. But I don't think I usually look for that in friends. No. I say that though. A lot of my friends, we have the same sort of want for a holiday. Yeah. In whatever friendship group it is, it's the roughing it, it's the camping, it's the adventure. Yeah. Which I love.
Could you do you do holidays where you just sit at the beach all day?
Very much so. I have previously, and they're lovely. Like I went to, I think it was Corfu last July.
Okay, nice.
Not Corfu, Sicily. Sorry. Just a week, just sitting down, laying down, and it was just like elite. I do get a little bit bored. Yeah. Doing that, but it allows just for that complete reduction in stress. Yeah. You just stay with a book in the sun and the sea. Sure, just getting so pure. I think nice.
It's also the recuperation of energy.
Yeah.
Like you're like more for your, I guess, your body, but also your mind. You're just like doing absolutely nothing. Yeah. Your body's allowed to like reset or has the ability to. Whereas what I was going to say earlier is, when you go on a hiking holiday or skiing or whatever, you then have to come back to work. Yeah. and you're more exhausted than when you left, in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the thing is, in our busy
your heart's
lives,
full and all those things, but
Yeah.
like you're just tired as heck.
in our busy lives, we're so, I think, at least I think, when I'm really busy or really exhausted, something I actually crave is just like lying in the sun, just flat for hours and just doing nothing. Just can't wait, just sort of, just, be there and just be completely still. I don't know what the word is to describe it, but there's this like little story of is the fisherman and like this corporate lawyer. I'm probably going to get this slightly wrong, but the analogy in itself.
Give it a go.
Here we go. So there's a fisherman. He's old and he's living in this Italian town. That's just made up by me, but let's just go with it anyway. Old Italian fisherman. Okay, he wakes up at 11 o'clock. He has a wife. They're old. He goes out on his fishing boat, catches enough fish for the day, comes back at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, cooks it, has some wine, sits with his friend in the sun, and then drinks and sleeps.
Yeah.
Very relaxed life. He's slightly older. And this corporate lawyer, I'm imagining, comes to him and says, "Oh, you can really scale this. Like, why don't you, spend longer fishing? Why don't you get a friend to help you? You can catch more fish and then buy another boat. And then when you buy another boat, you could then catch more fish and then sell it for more."
Yeah.
And then the fisherman asked the lawyer, "Well, why would I do this?" And he's like, "Well, you can earn more money to do this and that and that." And then the fisherman says, "Okay, and then what?" And he's like, "Well, then you can buy a really nice place, retire, drink wine with your friends, and relax." He's like, "I'm doing that already. Why would I do all these things to do what I'm doing now?" I think the message of the story is knowing when it's enough, knowing when you have what you have is enough, and knowing not to seek for more. And in the context of holidays,
Yeah.
in my mind, that's exactly that, is in our busy lives looking to do all these great things that we're doing. Often just sitting down just in the sun, relaxing for the day, reading a good book and having a glass of wine is simply enough. And it definitely has a space there, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of what we're trying to do, what a lot of holidays, the extreme hiking, the half marathon in the trails in the Dolomites is an extreme thing. It's going to be hugely fun. But I think just having that time and place of just a beachside, just sitting there for like a whole week and relaxing, that is one of the main essences of, human life.
Yeah.
If you can get that. And I think it's important to love that if you can.
Yeah, just completely relaxing and
Switch off.
taking in, just being, I guess, shutting everything else out and just allowing yourself to like zone out.
It's the beauty in life, isn't it?
Enjoy that space to do so. Yeah, something I'm not amazing at because of my mind's inability to shut off.
To sit still.
And to sit still. I cannot sit still, or my mind can't shut off.
Yeah.
But like then I find ways to, I remember one holiday we had so I'm very, very lucky that we have my family has a like an apartment on the south coast of Spain.
Yeah.
So I think we'll talk about our holidays as well, but like the majority of my holidays from the age of, I don't know, like 8 to I don't know, like 16 or whatever, was just going to that apartment every summer for like 6 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
The whole entire summer holidays, and just being there, and just spending time there. And then still lucky we have the space. Being able to take friends there as an adult was also really nice. So that, a holiday that comes to mind where that happened was a few years ago, with Jess and other people, but Jess comes to mind because we were both like very much just there chilling on the beach with everyone and just constantly like making videos and just being stupid, and she actually pulled up the videos the other day, which was funny.
Really?
I thought you were there as well. It was just funny that like these videos that we'd made, and it was like years ago, it was like 2021 I think, and it was just hilarious like looking back at these videos. And obviously you slightly cringe a little bit because we're like done like speaking over trending audios and things, and like there was like the Nadine, what's her name from, I can't remember. It's like, are you a beach girl or a city girl? And she's like, I'm both. And then like Louis, the guy from oh my god, I'm not saying any celebrities' names here. Louis Spence, I think his
Yeah,
name is.
like
He's
a
like, you
whippet.
can't catch me. I'm like a whippet. What are they gonna do? And Jess was doing that, and it was just those sorts of funny videos. So like, yes, we're relaxing and doing nothing, but an outlet for my inability to shut off was just then having fun and being creative, as like for the sake of being creative, as opposed to doing it for like work or whatever, you know. So it was it's still a nice balance, even though my mind. But you know, people always have things. They're like, oh, I'll read on holiday, or I'll do this and that. So like. I don't feel like you're just fully sleeping and doing absolutely nothing the whole time.
You're not, but you're allowing yourself to really slow down the pace of life, which I think a lot of at least in London or England and many other countries, we don't allow ourselves the grace of like hours of just getting lost in a book.
Yeah.
Like at least myself, and I think all of us are so busy focusing on the bigger things in life that the true beauty in life can often just be sitting with a book. And like I think there's such an exciting feeling when you're going on holiday. You go to the W.H. Smith in the airport, find a good book, and you're like, I can't wait to chew through this book on holiday. You know, I've read on like holiday when I actually have time, I chew through books. I remember it was the what was the book I gave you? I'm trying to remember it. It is a good book, I promise.
It's got the instrument in it.
Yeah, Captain Corelli's mandolin.
Yeah.
I was chewing through most of that in Sicily of last June.
Yeah.
I remember just like having a pause. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'd just done absolutely nothing for like the whole day and just reading that book. And I was just like, this is lovely.
Nice.
This is lovely. A good book and just in the
nice.
sun.
It is.
Simple stuff, isn't it?
So what's your favourite holiday you've ever been on?
Whoa.
Big question.
Big question. I think I answered this fairly recently, didn't I?
Did you?
I think when we were in Spain, I think I asked you this question.
Oh, okay.
A while ago.
Yeah.
Favourite holiday I've been on?
You can give me top 2 or 3 if you want.
Top 2 or 3. I'll give you top 3.
Okay.
One is Madagascar.
Okay.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I've never been to a place that different in my life, and I think I will, unless I do some really cool adventures, I will rarely come that close to another adventure like that. The difference in everything is fantastic. It's so different, and I think at a young age, I was 18 when I went out there. It was great for me. Fantastic. Like for instance, I fly into the main airport. I remember my mum, I think 2 days before, I wasn't very organised as a kid. My mum asked me 2 days before I was flying, she's like, you do know what you're doing when you arrive in the airport? I was like, no, I don't actually. I didn't think of what was going to happen when I arrived in the airport. Like, what's going to happen? For a bit of context, I did like 9 weeks out in Madagascar as like a marine conservation volunteering program. And the whole thing was I arrived in the capital and then I had to fly to a smaller town and then from the smaller town drive up to this little village where I was going to stay for about 9 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So I arrive into this main airport, Antananarivo, and I realise my taxi, who said I was going to be there, wasn't there. Have I said the story before?
I think you have.
Have I?
Yeah.
Okay, regardless. So to not repeat myself, my old memory's bad. Anyway, it was a real culture shock because I didn't know what I was doing. It didn't work out, the whole taxi situation.
Yeah.
Regardless, that whole holiday start to finish was so different.
Yeah.
The culture, they have their own language in the village that I was in, called the
nice.
Vezu language. I learnt a little bit. Salama Yabi. If any, probably no one's watching from that little village. They didn't really have internet out there, so it was 9 hour drive from the nearest town.
Wow.
Yeah, all across like sand dunes and stuff. It was a fishing village.
Incredible.
The village itself didn't have like roads, tarmac. It was all sand paths and stuff. So properly out there. And spending that much time out there was, I don't even know if you can call that a holiday, a trip.
Yeah.
I'll label it as a trip.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a really interesting one.
Nice.
Another one was Annecy. I went camping in the south of France. That was an elite trip. Just the vibes in general. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Like it's one of those places which you arrive and from the get-go you're like, this is just gorgeous. Like the vibe in itself. The old town was lovely. It's right on this lake, so Lake Annecy. So everyone's out like cycling or running around the lake. It's a massive lake. People are paragliding down. The weather was gorgeous, like 28 degrees. Had an absolutely fantastic time there.
Nice.
It was brilliant. We did like a road trip down from Calais, drove all the way through France, settled in Annecy for a little bit as well. Settled in Annecy for a bit. But the drive itself and the camp was just like, that's one of the trips which is going to be, in my heart for a long, long time, I think.
Nice.
That was a fantastic holiday.
Lovely.
That was more of a holiday than Madagascar was, I'd say.
Okay.
And just, I think the the sort of joining factor between those two is the adventure in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sort of rough and readiness of it all. Like there wasn't like an all inclusive. It was very much pull up at a camping site, pitch a tent, have to find food, and have to find food. It's the south of France, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But just the rough and readiness of it, I absolutely loved. So
Nice.
yeah,
Lovely.
Loved
Anything
it.
like, I know you said like the rough and ready of it were the things that stand out. Are there anything in particular other than that make them the top tier of the holidays?
Maybe to go into a little bit more. Then I was young. I was 21 or 22.
Yeah.
Complete freedom. We had a car, so we were driving down for the entire way.
Yeah.
That's
That's pretty cool.
Complete freedom to drive anywhere in a completely new country.
Yeah.
Was cool. That sort of sense of freedom there was
Yeah.
unbelievable. Everything was down. We had our own tent, which we could camp in as well. But it was just that sense of freedom and like you're in this completely new place. You can do exactly what you want. I think at that age as well, I was like, whoa. I was greeted with this sort of sense of freedom to drive anywhere, do anything. Very
Really
much
cool.
in the summer.
Yeah.
I think it was after uni or like mid uni, so I was very much in that honeymoon phase as well of like life's gorgeous, and so
Yeah.
I think just paired with that.
Yeah, nice.
The ultimate freedom was just elite. Then there's also Canada as well, actually. I didn't speak about Canada was an elite holiday.
Okay.
Yeah, went RV trip from Vancouver to Banff.
Yeah.
Didn't really speak about it, but that was a holiday of like a lifetime, I'd say.
Nice.
You know those trips where you come back and you're like, that will never happen again.
Yeah. Oh.
It was just fantastic. So me and my family, we went to Vancouver, North Vancouver or downtown Vancouver. Beautiful city. Gorgeous. I loved it.
Yeah.
As I was saying, like I go to places and I think, could I live here? I think Vancouver, I possibly could. The people are lovely, albeit we did go when it was full sun as well, which was also lovely as well. And I think it's meant to rain a lot in Vancouver.
Right.
The people are great. I remember we arrived and slightly jet lagged as well, and we went out at like 9 o'clock just to get some food. And I hadn't been to America at this point. And it was exactly like what I thought America would be like.
Yeah.
Like the big open streets, those sort of hanging traffic lights,
Yeah, nice.
wires everywhere. It was amazing. So went there. I just loved it in general. It was just such a different city to anything that I've experienced before. So went there, picked up an RV as well.
Nice.
And then we just did like a road trip all the way through Whistler, Jasper, and then Banff as well. And we stopped at each place for like 2 or 3 days, or 1 or 2 days, and
That's literally my dream holiday.
my God, like stopping at lakesides to take these unbelievably blue lakes. There were like grizzly bears on the side.
Oh my God, stop.
Bull elks. I remember. So we pulled into Jasper, in Canada,
Yeah.
of course, and we pull up to this like information center.
Yeah.
And the person's like, "You guys need to watch out. It's like bull elk season or whatever the season's called." Basically saying that there are these massive mature male elks who are walking around, full of testosterone, who are looking to mate. Really, really dangerous. They're more dangerous than grizzly bears are. They'll charge anything that they see.
Okay.
Watch out. So we're like, okay, that's a bit terrifying. And they're like all around here, they were saying. So we pull up, we drive our RV down to that RV park and then like find our space. We stop and we see a bull elk in our space. We're like, okay, this is not great. Put it into park and we'll just get down, engine off, sort of like creeping out the front windshield. We're sort of looking there, waiting for the bull elk to make a move, and we see it just makes this like really loud groan.
Oh God.
Not gonna do it, but it just does it. Beautiful. It's like a deer which you see in Richmond Park, but like 3 times the size. Not quite, but it's beautiful, beautiful animal. I loved Jasper so much, and just the wildlife there was incredible. And so seeing that, the woodland as well. I remember me and Felix and Jew. I think it was me and Felix and Jew. We went on like a run, just a quick run through the forest. We had to take bear spray and like bells and stuff when we were running, because all the signs said it's berry season as well. Watch out for bears. It's terrifying when you're on this trail. It was a bit stupid probably as well. You're running. You could literally turn a corner and there'd be a mature grizzly there, or like a mama grizzly there as well. It's terrifying.
Oh.
Yeah. Overall, Canada, I'd say for me is a trip, and it's exactly what I was saying. Was that it's that freedom, it's that difference from a regular beach holiday. Those beach holidays have a place and time. But an RV trip through the wilderness in Canada, it's just like it doesn't compare.
No, that sounds. I mean,
Very,
Canada's
very
always
grateful.
been the top of my list. I'm desperate to go one day. Eventually, I will go. But like, I want a good amount of time to be able to go to do exactly what you're saying. Like, do it properly. Not the whole obviously country, but being able to properly explore and have a, drive around and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to just go for a week or 10 days.
What would you do in Canada? What would your
Exactly what you're
ideal itinerary?
saying.
Would it be?
Yeah.
You should do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
2027 at this point.
We've got quite a few trips booked in, don't we?
Let's make it happen.
We've got a few booked in. I've never been more booked out than I have since meeting you. I'll tell you that for free. My whole year is booked out, planned.
Yeah, it's
Chaos.
Yeah, chaos. Not really. It's not
Shit.
chaos. It's just
Beautiful chaos.
yeah.
Beautiful chaos.
You've got way more holidays than I do.
I think we've got the same, no?
I say way more. You're going away for 2 weeks sailing.
Oh
You're-
my god.
Yeah,
To Croatia.
yeah.
Island
That's
hopping
exciting.
in Croatia for 2 weeks. What about you? Some holidays that stand out for you.
I have 3 if I could be
pushing
if
it.
I'm allowed.
It's pushing it.
I would say firstly I will say Lake Garda.
Yeah.
For me, Lake Garda, I mean, the place was lovely. Lake Garda in Italy, of course, it's beautiful. But for me, it's kind of what the people and the story of the holiday that's just like will be a core memory for life and one of my favorite experiences ever. So the run club went on our first trip to Italy to Lake Garda to run the half marathon in Italy last October or November.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were like 30 of us or 20 something of us, 20 maybe 31.
Yeah.
All just there together in this little in Garda, Riva del Garda itself.
Yeah.
Little old town, all in Airbnbs next to each other, and just bringing all of those people together. Doing the race was a glorious race. Like about 7 to 10 of us all ran it together. Not everyone did,
It's a little
but
more than that, about 12.
it was just incredible. And seeing everyone just over those like 4 days just be together, be silly together, explore, look after each other, bring each other up. It was just a real amazing experience. Not only that, but also like knowing that, I guess, like I said in previous weeks, being self-indulgent, that's something that I have facilitated. It was just lovely. It was just a little paradise moment, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
And I think that clearly stands out as to why that's is a favorite holiday of mine. Additionally, I would say Scotland.
You're literally saying this holidays now. I don't know why. I just don't remember them. Yeah.
I-
Or at least in my memory.
Yeah, Charlie and I went to Inverness, the area of in January. And honestly, when I say my favorite holiday is exploring, that is what that holiday was. And it was literally, I don't want to, I said this in the episode last week and I got it, I shouldn't, everyone of all ages can listen. It was like a drug, I won't be specific, but it was like absolute, like inject it in my veins. The snow was, we were so lucky with everything. We were staying in this shepherd's hut cabin. We had some issues with the Airbnb host, which I won't go into because I don't want to give them the energy that they don't deserve. But we were staying in this shepherd hut cabin with overlooking this incredible like landscape view of valley and rolling hills and things. Snow so deep, which I love. I prefer overall warmth. But snow is also epic, and I love like adventuring in the snow and all those things. I, as a kid, used to get so excited on snow days, and like every year it was a bit nerdy, but I'd like Google months in advance, is it going to snow this year? Those sorts of things.
Snow forecast.
Legit.
Yeah.
So like that, and then just constant like having, like you say, just being like, okay, well, we've got the car. Where are we going to go today? What are we going to do? Let's go explore. Literally scaling up the side of a fell, and just. Explore, like it was an adventure in itself, getting the crampons and the ice picks and being like, what are we going to do, where are we going to go, we're fighting against the daylight, and obviously like we were fine and we were always going to be fine, but at the moments it was like, are we going to be okay? And it was just like really, really fun, like one of the best curries I've ever had in Dingwall.
Dingwall, take me back.
Honestly,
my heart's in Dingwall.
Just an absolute sublime every single day. It was just pure incredible time. And like the Scottish Highlands are beautiful, so made so much more beautiful, I think, with the snow, because it's just so like magical, enchanting, all those things. We were lucky because then also the last day it melted, so we got to see both, and it was really cool having that. Going down the what's the where the Isle of Skye? Yes, Isle of Skye. Yeah, just an incredible time, through and through. And then I would say finally, oh god, there's just so many. Um, can I say interrailing or is that greedy?
Because it was a
The trip
holiday in itself.
itself,
Yeah, go for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
interrailing
So
with Ross, one of our housemates.
yeah,
That was in 2017. I don't remember the order, but did Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Budapest,
yeah.
Vienna, Lake Bled, and where am I forgetting? Mm, anyway, doesn't matter. It was an incredible time, and just like seeing that much in like one short period of time.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I know not everyone does, but you know, a lot of many 20-something-year-olds do interrailing, so I know it's not a profound thing to talk about, but it was just really cool, yeah, seeing that many things, that much culture, learning that much about different places, especially like in Europe. I love modern history. I didn't study it and I wish I had, but like I love modern history. So like in every city doing these free walking tours, everything's so relevant to sort of World War II and everything that happened there. So learning about all of those sorts of things on these walking tours I just found fascinating as well, with a little bit of the exploring injected with Lake Bled.
Yeah.
Wasn't loads, but did manage to go hiking in Lake Bled, which was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that's probably the third and final. I mean, so many are coming to my mind.
I've realised how this sounds, by the way, guys, that saying these beautiful trips, I realise I'm very, very grateful and privileged as well to have these trips.
Yeah,
Something that we should continually preface is that
Yeah.
these aren't normal, and even if you're not doing these amazing island hopping in a boat in wherever, any trip is amazing. For
course
me,
it
some
is.
of the best trips have been in England,
Well, I just had one of my top three holidays
in
was
Scotland. Yeah,
in the UK. So
exactly
it's sublime, an
Yeah.
incredible time. All of mine have been in Europe. Actually, I haven't. I've only been outside of Europe. Oh, I forgot about Boston. Oh my god, I love
been to
Boston
Boston?
so much. I
Boston.
love Boston so much. Honestly, yeah. With everything going on in America, whatever. I'm not going to get into that, but. I went to Boston last October, just before the election.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was incredible. My dad, it was apparently my mum said it was my dad's favorite place he'd been to as well.
Wow.
He loved it, and I also shared that. Like it wasn't like the most stuff happening as a city goes. Like somewhere like I don't know. Also, America's such a young country.
Of course.
So comparatively to somewhere like Rome, for God's sake, or even somewhere like Copenhagen, or I don't know, Prague, where we just were. There wasn't loads in that sense in terms of like history and loads to learn. Obviously, there is loads of history, but it's just such a cool like metropolitan city. I loved it, and also went in fall or autumn, Halloween. Went down to Salem where they had all of the witch trials. Unfortunately, honestly, just an incredible time. But so yeah, that was I was going to say. I've only been outside of Europe twice, and both were to USA. Which again, I've extremely privileged to have been out of the country once, let alone the multiple times I have been. But surrounded by very much an echo chamber of people I'm around. Several of my friends have, done Southeast Asia or Central or South America or both or all of these places in Africa or whatever. I, relative to those people, always sometimes in conversations just feel a bit like inadequate, which sounds silly, but that's my experience. When people are talking about all these places and I'm like, I couldn't even, maybe it's a bit ignorant, but like couldn't even necessarily tell you where that is, let alone share these experiences where these people are talking about all these amazing places. Because again, very lucky to have a place in Spain, so just would go there every year, which was amazing. And then as a young 20-something-year-old, just kept to Europe. But it's not something I want to keep the same, but it's also hard, like with working, going to South, like these friends who do that, they book out time and they just take months off or whatever, but I'm not in a position to necessarily do that.
Does it come from a place of feeling lesser because you haven't been there, or like a place of like envy, or
Not envy, maybe lesser, which is silly to say, but like, yeah, like I haven't experienced as much. So I'm like, I don't know those things. You have all those experiences and I don't. So you're talking about this culture that I've never experienced. But everyone has different experiences and I'll experience things that they won't necessarily have experienced themselves. So I don't like, it doesn't occupy lots of my headspace or my thought space. But yeah, I do sometimes, like reiterate the very distinct echo chamber that is, that I'm around, when people are like, oh yeah, yeah, this Southeast Asia or whatever, where we were traveling around Vietnam or wherever it was. Jay and Lucy are some of our best friends. Like they've been to like not hundreds obviously, but like countless countries, and they are travelers. They love traveling. I mean, travelers is in like the verb.
You can't say that anymore, buddy.
They love
You
traveling,
can't say
and it's their
that.
whole thing. It's like different holidays, and they get itchy feet if they don't go on holidays and stuff, and that's their vice. So they're always talking about these different places. But yeah, I'm still very lucky. I've been to lots of Europe, mainland Europe. And yeah, outside of Europe twice. But I'm going to Africa for the first time next week, which is exciting.
Yes, indeed,
Morocco to be specific.
That's gonna be great, isn't it?
It's gonna be great.
Africa for the first
I know.
time.
Great. It's gonna be great. I really want to go to Japan as well.
That's on your list, isn't it?
It is.
This year or next year?
It was going to be this year, but I think just too much has happened and it's too much, not enough time.
Yeah.
It will happen, as will Canada. I think Canada just trumps Japan on my wish list, but both are very much at the top there. Yeah. What are your thoughts on so for us in England, a big thing that happens is, which you have done, is I say a big thing, a common thing again that happens in our sort of echo chamber, university, those sorts of things, is people move to Australia.
Yes.
Australasia.
I have friends who do it.
Australia, New Zealand. I have several friends who, even in my schooling years, their family would move away to Australia, and now friends who live in Australia. It's quite I've got several friends who.
It's a thing.
Yeah. How you've been? What are your thoughts? Would you see yourself moving to Australia or anything like that?
Oh. Almost part of me wants to go no purely for the sake of not falling into that category. But even then, objectively, the lifestyle seems... It's different to the UK.
Yeah.
Of course. Just the sun, the sea, the outdoorsiness as well. To me, I personally... Maybe for a little bit.
Okay.
Not permanently.
Okay.
Like my aunt moved there when she was, I think, 25, 26, and she still lives there now. And the one thing she says is that it's extremely difficult being away from her family. Yeah. Extremely hard. She says it just wears you down. Yeah. Being away from... You do make friends over there, and if you stay for long enough, will start a family. But being over there for 10 years plus is just insane. Now, being there for a year or 2 years... I think if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I probably would have said yes, but now I'd be more inclined to say no. Just because of how it's quite similar to London. And if I was going to move to a different place, I'd want it to be a real culture shock, I think, or different. Because I'm probably going to move, it would be for a year or 2 years if I was to move. Don't get me wrong, I like the lifestyle, which they have probably more than London's, the outside, tops off. Just the sea, the surf, the whole sort of lifestyle with it. It's a lot more healthy as well, in my mind. They balance work and life a lot more, it seems out there as well, which I really like as well. In London, there's a real hustle culture where start early, finish late, and if you don't do that, you're not seen to be working hard, which is almost quite toxic and
not quite,
very toxic, and leans away from a lot of lifestyle values that I envy or don't like. Sorry. And so I think with that lifestyle, I think I would quite like it a lot. The only reason I wouldn't, because not it seems gimmicky, because it doesn't, but part of me doesn't, it feels like it wouldn't sort of scratch that itch. I've done it and I've travelled there, along the East Coast, did a sort of trip down the East Coast, a little surfing trip, which is great, back in my gap year. But I don't think I'd live there. No. Do you?
No.
You wouldn't?
I can't say because I've never been, and I don't want to sound ignorant, but it just does. yeah, I don't have a huge pull like everyone seems to do. If the opportunity arises to go there on a
Yeah.
holiday, of course I would love that and to see it and all those things and to learn about it.
Mm.
But like everyone has a list of places they want to go. Australia's just not like up there for me. Like I will go, and one of our good friends Lucy is from Australia, and I'm sure eventually she'll move home because she's currently in London, and it will be nice to visit her. Like I said, I've got several friends who live there. Um, but yeah, it's not at the top of my list, and I can understand that all of those things that you've just said and why people want to have that lifestyle change and whatnot. But
Of course.
yeah, it's just not something that's really sort of pulling me too much at this stage.
Why do you think that is?
Don't know. It's just not really.
Mm.
I Yeah, I'm just not necessarily
You just
interested.
don't, you just don't have it. Is
I
it because
don't.
it's too culturally similar to the UK, do you think?
No, I've not really thought about why I'm not bothered. But
Yeah.
like any other country, I'm not like it would be nice to go, but I'm not desperate to go there. I think
Yeah.
I have not really thought about why I'm not desperate to go there. I think, yeah, it's just hot and
Mm.
nice, obviously, and the coast. If you're at the coast, but it's just like yeah, another version of England, which I can't say because I don't know it, so I don't want to speak like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I haven't thought about why I'm not desperate to go to other countries. I haven't really thought about it. Yeah,
Is it because it's too normalised or like not even that? Because there's that joke now where young people from London go to
probably a little
Sydney and young
bit.
people from
Yeah,
Sydney come to London. Like they do like a little bit of a country swap for a bit.
yeah, probably a little bit. You know, when there's a big trend,
Yeah.
some part of you's like tries to resist it or whatever. Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit, but
Maybe,
like I
yeah.
don't think hugely. Because it's been going on for so long. Like the people, like I say, in my literal school years, like in year nine, I remember a girl Jess, like she was very very popular in my year, and she moved over to her whole family moved over to Australia. It was like a big
Wow.
thing in our year that she was moving to Australia, and yeah,
Best of luck, Jess.
yeah, she's doing great now. She's got 3 kids. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I say she's doing great. I only see it on social media, so I don't know, but I'm
Well done,
presuming.
Jess.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a thing for time. Like my
Yeah.
cousin moved to Australia when I was probably like 10. She's moved home now to have a
Yeah.
family, but she lived there for God many years. So yeah, it's been going on for a long time, hasn't it? Way
Yeah.
before probably we were even born. But
Mm.
especially you. But
My, especially me,
yeah, it's only
15-year-old guy
15
over
year old
here.
you. Yeah.
15 me. My
Um,
parents went to Australia
oh,
back then. They did the whole tour.
nice,
Um,
lovely,
they did the whole trip.
very nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think something else I wanted to talk about holidays, maybe a
Mm.
bit more aligned with. We're talking about in this podcast. We don't have to. We're not committing ourselves to any specific, agenda, but we do often talk about our well-being, and that's what we're here to do.
Of course.
I think holidays something to I find sometimes difficult, and again, I don't want to over egg this, but like saying about privilege, I just want to say that again
Of
here
course. We
because
should-
I'm not
definitely
being at all. But like sometimes going on a holiday and people joke in the office like, God, it's not worth it going on holiday because you just end up more stressed, and then you get people booking in meetings with you 9 a.m. the first day you're back, and you've got an inbox of over 100 emails and all those things. And in the corporate lifestyle,
Yeah.
it can add so much more stress. Like there's potentially. I'm not saying this is my current situation, but I know other people have this. But like, there's a problem when you're only like 2 days in your holiday and you're already dreading getting
Yeah.
back to work, and it's like
That's
you
a
can't
real
even be
dissonance in your
present
life.
in your holiday
It's awful.
because you're so dreading your job or like going back to real life. It's like what I try and do, because I very much have had this experience in my past where I would get so upset leaving a holiday, and I really had to like work on that and be like, why am I so upset leaving a holiday? Because it implies that I'm going maybe back to something that I'm not happy
Yeah.
about. Um, and is there something I can work on there? So like I've really, with everything I'm doing in my life, trying to make my life joyful, happy, like fulfilling, enriching, all of those things in the present day, in the present moment. So when I have a holiday, like we know I'm bad at saying goodbye to things, but when I have a holiday, I can maybe struggle a little bit to say goodbye to it just because that's my nature. But like I also don't catastrophize and be like, I dread going back, because
Yeah.
the holiday's just a nice novelty on top of what's already a lovely life.
Of course.
And I don't know that that's fully the case for everyone. It's not always the case for me. Like, I'm not sitting here on a pedestal being like, oh, I've got a great
I
life,
like my
I don't
life.
mind coming back from holiday, because like sometimes it
Yeah.
is, and sometimes, especially like if there's critical times or periods of work where you're like, okay, in these months it's really difficult,
Yeah.
coming back from holiday is just like, I just don't want to do this,
Yeah.
like, and I don't want to leave this trip, and it's just,
What a shame though if that is the reality for
I
a lot of
know.
people. It's
Well,
such.
I don't feel like it's to say that, like, I don't think we can say that as we're separate from that. I feel like there's bits of that, and certainly in me, I can't speak on your behalf, but I
Mm,
do feel like we all have parts of that where we're like,
I think so. I mean, yeah. Again, maybe not to the extreme of literally dreading day two of the holiday because it
mm,
possibly could end. I don't have that to that extreme. There is, of course, when you is coming to an end, knowing that such a nice thing is coming to an end. Um, but then how much are you? You should ask yourself the honest question: how much are you living for the holiday versus
yeah,
living for your life?
that's the thing, how,
To be honest with yourself, though.
and like you go to the barbers or the hairdressers, like, oh, you got any holidays coming up? Because it's like such like they're the high in someone's life, right? And it's
Mm,
like, that's what we're doing here. Let's try and find the joy
joy
in
in
every
not
day,
being on
because
holiday.
yeah, I've definitely been in that trap where you're like looking forward to, oh, okay, in 2 months' time, and people have like those countdowns on their
Yeah,
phones, don't they? And it's,
that's the thing, is it?
well, I don't know if it is anymore, but I remember there used to be apps where you'd like put your holidays in and it would count down the days to your holiday.
God, Black Mirror, isn't it?
Um, and yeah, I do not want to be here being like, oh, you don't need to do that. Like, you should just live in the everyday. Like, I'm not
Of course,
preaching, but
no,
I
we
think
should
it's
not.
maybe finding a balance. And holidays are amazing, but how can
Mm,
we be on holiday on our daily lives, acknowledging that we all have stresses, we all have crap days, we all have
of course.
hard things going on.
Mm,
But on a general sense, how can we? So
yeah,
then we're not building up these huge things, and therefore when they finish, crashing
left.
down and feeling empty and lost, and like, God,
Yeah,
I need to book another holiday to fulfill whatever.
yeah, completely agree.
I don't know. I don't
I
have an answer, but I
no,
think it's an important observation that I have made.
completely agree. I heard this thing once, and again, this comes from a place of knowing that what I'm saying, I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, but I think I read it somewhere or heard it somewhere once, was try and shape a life if you can where you don't need a holiday.
Mm,
Where your life is the holiday, is that feeling of it. What do you enjoy? What's the environment that you like? Who do you like spending time with, people which you would go on holiday with?
mm,
Try and shape that so that when you do go on holiday, you have less of that dreading feeling.
mm,
Now, again, as you've said, it's easy for us to say that, and we're not trying to preach here of don't go on holiday because you don't need it. Holidays are false.
mm.
It's just very much something that, if that is the case,
Yeah,
maybe start to be honest with yourself about why that might be.
yeah. I think like in this context, there's a lot of unpacking that could be done, but I think it
Yeah,
just comes back to what we say is, and what we're trying to do ourselves on a daily basis and always working on, is finding the joy in the everyday, like I said,
it is, isn't
and
it?
being happy, and trying to, in going through all of the adversities and sitting with those as well, and working through and talking through those,
Yeah,
allowing ourselves to be unhappy so we can then find an equilibrium through that and find joy overall.
yeah,
It means that then we're not placing our happiness in one thing over there, that we're like an external thing, which is a holiday, and we're trying to really just find that within ourselves. So then, like
mm.
you say, the holiday is a beautiful bonus,
Let
but
it be that,
it's
a
not,
bonus.
the destination, or it's not the thing, that
Mm.
the anchor that's getting me through the day to day.
Because it's fleeting,
Yeah,
and if your anchor's
we
fleeting,
can't live on holiday,
you can't.
and if we did live on holiday, it wouldn't be a holiday.
No,
Um,
it'd be living.
yeah. So how
No,
can we make our daily living? I don't know. I don't know.
no. It like it is
It's
that. It's like what do you get from a holiday? Is it the escape or is it the things you're doing on holiday?
the enriching. Yeah.
If it's the enriching, if it's the sun, it's the sea. Like you can, try and listen to that and try and lean more into that if that's what you're wanting or craving.
Mm.
Just saying, never have a holiday again. How they make you feel? What in your life is,
Mm.
you know?
For sure.
It's an interesting balance to strike.
It's all about
It's
balance.
all about balance, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, and also then coming back slightly adjacent to this, is, yeah, finding a balance there also when it comes to like the workload and all of those
Yeah.
things. And I have colleagues literally who are on holiday as we're speaking, who, speaking to them, they're like, "Oh, I've just got to do so much work in preparation for this holiday, and then also there's no one to do my job while I'm away, so when I come back it's just going to be like absolute chaos."
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, how are we in this situation where and I'm not speaking for myself because my job is,
Yeah.
I'm very lucky and flexible and all those things, but like people I speak to,
Yeah.
how are we in a situation where we dread a holiday because of our work is so sort of all encompassing that we can't just allow ourselves to have a nice holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm not, again, I don't have a fix here, but it's just an observation of like,
Yeah. Well, you want to hear something bad? Is that because in my job in sales, the whole thing is that it's partly you get paid on salary, but part of it is commission. So how much you sell that month, you earn from.
yeah,
And that's not taken, or holiday isn't taken into account. So if you are away for 2 weeks out of 4 weeks, you've got 2 less weeks to try and earn that commission. There's like a fixed line which you need to hit to earn that certain money. Very recently, I've heard from people that they actively do not want to take a holiday because they won't be able to earn the money for their life. And I remember hearing that and my heart breaks. It has happened for me as well. Like you go away and you're like, I can't earn this money for this month. And I know that's sales and it's a very high pressure environment, but de-incentivizing, whatever the word is, unincentivizing, going away, having time which you are very much, have earned to yourself.
yeah,
Bit Black Mirror, I think.
yeah. It's your work, and I don't want to overspeak, but
Yeah.
it's something that I do
Challenge.
Yeah, I think that that is, yeah, you've said it. I'll leave it there. You've said it very well. So, it's tricky.
But in that, it's like,
hard.
how much can you sit there and be like, try and make your life, like more like a holiday if your life currently is very much set up to not be around one.
Yeah. Also, to say, we're very lucky, I think, living in the UK. Places like North America or like the USA, holidays not a given.
Their annual leave is not like
And they
ours
find
is.
it baffling that we get like a minimum of 23 or however many days annual leave.
They
So,
get
like,
a week, don't they?
they're not. I don't think it's even a federal law that people have to have a certain amount of
I think
time.
you're right. It's not, is it?
So, and they find it like crazy that, and I'm like, what? How could you? But I guess it's what you're socialized to, what's normal,
It's normal,
right?
isn't
But
it?
yeah, so we're talking about, it's stressful coming off holiday to back to work.
That's not a
People
thing
don't
for
even
them.
get annual leave. Like,
Yeah.
annual leave is a concept for some people in some countries. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah, that in itself, I don't think we should be like, we can't complain, we're lucky. I don't think that's lucky. Personally, I think that that's, yeah, I think as a basic human right, you should be able to, not a basic human right, that sounds ridiculous. Basic human rights, we know what basic human rights are, I don't need to go into that. But like, if you're employed, I think your employer should give you time off. That's just ridiculous. And I think, not even from like a well-being or looking after people perspective, I think from an economical perspective, as an employer, your employees are going to work better if they have time for recuperation. They're not going to burn out, all those things. So like, in all senses, it makes sense to give people time off.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not like a given. And
But there's also that argument is that like these holidays which we're going on is very much a new age thing. My grandparents, their holiday was to like Blackpool.
Yeah.
That was it until they were like 50 or 60 when holidays to, wherever became a thing. And now you've got people our age or younger who now live in Bali as entrepreneurs. Like it's such a difference in such a short amount of time.
Which again is why I also say
you challenge it.
No, I wanted to preface when I say I didn't feel like I've travelled that much. I very much have, but just
compared to I know it's nuts. And I mean, most American, or not most, but I remember hearing that a lot of Americans don't have passports.
Yeah.
Again, the US is a massive country.
They don't necessarily need them as much, do
No.
they? Because they live on they basically live on a continent.
They have their own continent themselves.
Yeah.
So they're fine to go either coast up or down as well.
Yes. Skiing, beach, all of the above, everything in between in one country.
Go to Europe.
Yeah.
That's the old American thing, isn't it?
I'm going to Africa.
Guys, me on a European street. You talking about Ukraine, London, like what you sort of...
Yeah.
What are you talking about, European street?
Yeah, we're going to Europe. To be fair, I did just say I was going to Africa, but then I very quickly said Morocco in Africa.
Cape Town, Morocco.
I would say because I've only been outside of Europe once, but then I'm going to Africa. That's why I said it. But yeah,
it's a big old continent, isn't it?
Yeah,
Biggest
it
one.
is. But some people, I'm not saying it from a specific country, but some people think Africa's a country in itself.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty obvious who I'm talking about. But
Yeah, it is indeed.
Anyway, holidays are lovely.
Holidays are lovely, aren't they?
we've had many lovely holidays, many more to come. I wish I could talk about all of my holidays because they're
Talk
all
about all
amazing.
our experiences. We should do
I've
another one
spoken
on
about it
crazy
before.
travel trips, shouldn't we?
Huh?
We should do like a Q&A on crazy travel trips.
Yeah, we should do. We could do that on live or something.
Yeah.
We
Follow up on this one.
Yeah, we just all the holidays. I want to talk about all of them, but I can't.
There's not enough time, is there?
Not enough time in the day.
A little bit more theorise on this one, but still.
Yeah, well, we didn't go into all of the depths that we often do, but it's sometimes nice to just to step back out, step up of the depths, and just
I know what you mean.
have a nice chat, and have a nice chat about other things.
Indeed.
Next week we'll probably be talking about our severe mental health problems and going real back into it.
Oh yeah.
Not to trivialise any mental health problems.
Of course, don't do that.
But yes, this week we just thought it'd be nice, as we're going on holiday, to speak about our holidays. And as Mason asked for,
some travel experiences.
let's talk about it.
Ah,
And we did.
very
So I hope
nice.
that was enjoyable.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
And yeah, so tell me, have you got any mood boosts before we close?
I have a fantastic mood boost.
Please.
So yesterday evening, Marcus and I did a TikTok live, which was absolutely brilliant. I was sat there just editing, eating some food, and all of a sudden this phone comes out and these people on the screen, and I'm like, oh, what's this here? And it was a TikTok live just out of nowhere. It was hilarious. It lasted an hour.
It didn't feel like an hour, did it?
For like a portion of it, these 11-year-old kids, like in year 7, hopped into the meeting room, started flaming Marcus for his accent, saying you had a trust fund accent and your hair.
They said I got a McDonald's hairline, which they don't need to tell me. I'm more aware than anyone else. So thanks for stating the obvious.
I remember it was such pure intention. Like, guys, we're here to boost some mood, and these kids come on and like, what does your barber do for a living? I was like, these kids come on and flaming you.
It's TikTok.
It's TikTok,
and
absolute
then someone was
cesspit.
trying to revert us to Islam as well. And
Oh wow,
just absolutely flooding the comments with everything about Islam.
Yeah, that was quite intense.
Anything I was saying was then bringing it back to religion and challenging it to religions in this context, Islam. And I was just like trying to, I think you need to not read every single comment out loud, especially when I'm talking. Like every single comment out loud. They're asking us to do this. Let's try that. It's like you just read that in your mind and know that it's not appropriate to read it and just carry on.
He's asking what religion you support and why it's not Islam. Marcus, what? Why are you not Muslim, Marcus?
And then someone asks us a serious question. I'm trying to reflect, and Charlie's just telling, when they're saying this, I'm literally trying to.
But anyway, my mood boost is there was a kid there called Calvin, but he was a lovely kid. He was asking all these things about what he wants to be when he's older. And lovely kid.
Both
Calvin.
of them, right?
Both of them, Calvin and Kyle. Lovely guys. We did say that if they could guess our favourite countries, then they'd be our mood boost. They didn't.
They got us to 10,000 likes.
They did. Solely that. They were spamming the like button, weren't they? Regardless, it was a lovely TikTok live in general.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun yesterday.
It was indeed.
Yes. What about your mood boost?
Oh, what is my mood boost? This isn't mine, and it hasn't been given to me as one, but I'm just going to say it because I I've observed it and wanted to share it on this person's behalf, and I'm sure they wouldn't mind me sharing. We have a member in our run club called Mark, and he's had a bit of a tough time. Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing. He's had a bit of a tough time the last few weeks, and he just decided to go on like a last minute holiday. Ironically, I didn't plan that actually. I've just realised this is about holidays. A last minute holiday. And I was speaking to him at the Run Club a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, just go on the holiday, it'll be amazing. And he was like, I don't know if I can because this, that, and the third. And I said, just go, you'll have a great time. Anyway, he messaged me yesterday about something to do with the Run Club. I just said, because I've seen on his Instagram, he did go on the holiday. And I was like, how's the holiday? I hope it's amazing. And he was just like, it's incredible. I'm so glad I've come. I've not booked a return ticket. I'm having the time of my life. And I know our mood boosts aren't always these giant, life-changing things, but I can see Marcus having the best time, like life-changing experience on this holiday. And it was just really nice to see someone who's been, struggling and not going through the best time, just allowing himself that and allowing himself to, he wasn't going to allow himself to go on the holiday, and he has, and now he's just having this formative experience, which is the best time. So it's nice to see that. And
he booked it a week before he went out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So a second trip.
So big shout out to Marky Mark on your holiday.
Mark, proud of that guy.
He might still be there when he listens to
I
this.
think he fully could
He's
be.
not booked a return ticket.
I think he's
so-
out there.
I
We've
said,
lost
good,
him.
stay out there. I don't want to see you again.
Don't come back.
Yeah, don't come back.
Don't give in to this place.
Except when we go to San Sebastian with the Ram Club.
Apart from that, yes, make sure you come for that. Marky Mark, have a fantastic time.
Yeah, and Calvin. And
Calvin and Kyle.
Kyle.
Thanks
yeah.
for getting us to 10,000 likes on the TikTok Live.
Yes, it was really fun actually going on TikTok Live. Even though I was
funny,
getting
wasn't it?
rinsed, it was kind of like the challenge, like see how many I can bat off.
Yeah, you were fantastic at it. I think you were laughing them all off.
I mean, what are you going to say to me? Like, what are you going to say to me that I don't already know about myself? It's just like, okay, cool, yeah, I've got a crap lid. Like, I already know that. So what? It doesn't impact.
You don't say
not-
that to yourself. You don't want any of that sort of talk on this. You have a great haircut.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to take that. But
Yeah.
thanks. Like, yeah. Also, you're literally someone on the internet that I'm never going to see in my life.
That's it.
Respectfully, and you're choosing to sit and hate on me. So yeah, great, good for you. I was also proud of myself this week because someone did leave a nasty comment. No, it wasn't the nastiest, but I did like a video before we wrap up. I did a video leaving the house, and I was quite emotional about it. I'm really bad at goodbyes, as I've already said like a million times. And I just did a video like reflecting on leaving the old house, handing in the keys, and just thinking about the memories from the last 7 years. I started the video like, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I just felt compelled to make this video. And this guy commented like, why do you feel compelled? Why don't you just speak to a real human being instead of... And then he swore, being like, putting crap on Instagram reels, go speak to someone, mate, or whatever, like in very much like a snide remark. And I just very much was like, this isn't happening. I'm just going to stop this right away and use this as an example of why we're doing what we're doing and why I do what I do on my own page as well. Yes, I speak to people in real life and I speak to human beings about my well-being. But of course, as well, and why we're making this podcast, it's important to show that it's okay to talk about these things. And if that's putting that online, we've had so much feedback from people already saying you sharing your experiences has really helped us, or helped me specifically, the person that said that to us, or the people that said that to us. You've helped me, make me feel less alone and more validated, and that my experience isn't, I'm not on my own in this.
Yeah.
If that's just for one person, which is already more than one person, I'm going to keep doing it. I want to set an example to show that it's okay to talk about your well-being and that it's okay to not be okay. And if that's me feeling sad and vulnerable about leaving my house that I've lived in for 7 years, I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to be sorry about it, and I'm going to do that with pride, and I'm going to do it with chest, and I'm also going to be vulnerable, and I'm going to be teary-eyed with pride and with chest, because guess what? You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to cry, and I'm gonna cry. And
I was proud of you for that. I thought it was fantastic.
And I'm proud of myself. Good. And I, you could easily just ignore it and let it pass, which I will do for 99% of the comments. But in this situation, I was already feeling a certain type of way. Secondly, I wanted to use it as an example to say this is exactly what we're combating and what we're coming against. So, to this guy, I very much said to him, I'm sorry that this is the way you feel the need to express your day, or to go about your day, is to make someone who's already sad and vulnerable feel worse about their day. I hope truly that you find better ways to make yourself happy, but this isn't going to happen, and you're not going to do this, because this is exactly what we're combating against. There's too many people, too many guys, too many everyone's that feel like they can't share their emotions in real life, online, wherever. That's not what I'm here for, and that's not what we're here for, and we're letting people know that that's okay. He deleted his comment. Hopefully he's reflected and realised that it was unnecessary and he didn't need to do that, and he feels better, and I don't want him to feel any type of way. Like, we all make mistakes on a daily basis, but I just wanted to say that I was proud of myself for that, and it reinforces everything that we're doing.
Him getting rid of his comment as well, I think, also reinforced that. I mean, killing with kindness is like an understatement. You literally said, I hope your day is going well. Whatever you're going through, I wish you the best with it. And that, as a response to a hate comment, I think just trumped his entire card.
I think people say that in a sassy way, like, I hope your day gets better. But I truly,
you actually meant it.
Yeah, I'm truly like, I genuinely think, like, when someone feels in real life or online to bully someone else or to make someone feel bad about themselves, it's only a reflection of their unhappiness or their whatever's going on in their life. I don't want anyone to be unhappy or to be miserable or to have low self-esteem. I hope that guy who chose in that moment to be horrible to someone else truly feels more happy, because I don't want him to be sad. Like, yes, he's done something badly to me, but if I wanted bad against him or anyone else, that is such a small example and really insignificant. But if someone else did something worse to me, like the Airbnb hosts, I still left them a lovely review, because in in wishing ill against them, I'm just putting out my own negative energy.
But you're also harming your own self as
exactly.
well from doing that.
Holding on to
by wishing ill
toxicity.
and contributing or sinking to their level, it reduces your own well-being and your state of that. So I think you actively saying what you said to him in response by just being, hey, I genuinely hope that you're okay. You know, whatever you're going about, there are better ways to do it. Maybe look at reflecting instead of going about exactly how you've gone about this. That is keeping your level there, knowing your own self-worth and not sinking to that level of hatred, because that is objectively a lower energy than what you have. And so I think that's a
there we go
fantastic reflection of that.
So that's I was proud of myself for sort of making an example and publicizing that this week. And I don't want to, not because I want to publicize drama or any of those things, but I just thought it was a perfect example of showing why it's important to combat people telling you can't talk about your well-being or being sad. If someone's proactively telling me I can't do that, I'm going to say absolutely not. I am doing that, and you're not going to stop me.
Good. That's what we're here for.
So yes, thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a lovely episode.
Tuning in, everyone. It was great, wasn't it?
We had a nice episode.
We did indeed. Slightly longer one, but still.
So I'll do some ASMR.
I'll turn off the cameras.
And we'll see you next week when we're